Hello, everyone. It is Steph. This month, we are taking a look at ROI. What is it? How do you calculate it? Why do you even bother tracking it? And today, I want to talk about the intangible side of ROI. I'm going to drop in the notes like a really down and dirty way to calculate ROI from a money point of view. And I covered last week, why do you even want to bother calculating that in the first place, right? But there's also an intangible quality to ROI that sometimes is a little murkier in terms of like, how do you calculate it? It's more, do you have a sense of its overall impact on your efforts? So I'm going to give you an example. I'm a solopreneur. I'm a business coach. Almost all of my business comes from a word of mouth referral. So like straight up numbers wise, it's easy for me to pull my source report. I know how much money I've invested in the different networking groups that I'm a part of. I know where my business comes from, and therefore I know whether my participation and my membership fees in each of those groups is worth it, right? That's pretty straightforward. On the less straightforward side of things is, at least for me, social media. For some of you, you may get business directly off of social media. And when you ask people, how did you hear about me? Social media is the answer, and maybe even a specific platform. The more specific, the better. For someone like me in my industry, trust is a huge issue. People are sharing a lot of really confidential and personal information with me, and having that warm handoff from one person to another saying, work with Steph. I've had a really good experience with her, or I've heard good things about her. That's what brings me business. I don't necessarily get business off of social media, but social media does maintain my brand presence and my brand awareness. It's an opportunity for me to share information with people. And I might not get a lot of engagement on my posts, but when I'm networking and I'm catching up with people I haven't seen in a while, invariably I hear, you're really busy. I always see your posts that, thanks for that piece of information. It really got me thinking about X, Y, and Z. So even if they aren't engaging with it online, I know A, it's the content is helpful to them, and B, it's keeping me top of mind. So if they ever need services, or they hear of, they meet with someone who needs coaching services, I'm the name that's going to pop to mind. And then that's going to turn into a word of mouth referral, right? So my direct, tangible ROI on social media might be zero, but it has indirect influences on how people hear about me, how they get curious about me. They're probably more open to having a conversation about business coaching because they've had this introduction to me online. So it plays like this tangential role. And I know that there is value to it, even if I can't directly calculate it. So then the question becomes, how much time, energy, effort, money do I want to invest in an indirect effort versus my direct efforts? And I've got a pretty good feel for that because I actually have calculated my direct numbers. And I hope that this is making sense. This is usually a conversation that I have with clients using their own list of marketing strategies as an example of direct and indirect. But the gist of this video is to encourage you, definitely calculate your more straightforward numbers. You've invested X in this marketing effort, Y has been the revenue that has come from it, and Z is the profitability. Z is the ROI, right? That's very straightforward. Please be tracking that on a monthly basis. Also, take into consideration all of those things that you do that might have a more indirect influence on your brand credibility, your brand awareness, and therefore people's willingness to learn more about you and engage in a conversation, which can take a marketing effort across the finish line. but it might not be directly measurable. Just have a sense of how much, again, time, energy, money, effort you are investing in that relative to things that more directly bring you business. And adjust your mix and kind of experiment with your mix of those two things until you get that cocktail just right and you have a good marketing recipe and you know that those efforts are coming together and bringing you clientele and bringing you business. I am also going to drop in the comment section a really good blog article about all of this that probably more articulately outlines what I'm trying to explain around the more indirect efforts. It was written by a HubSpot contributor. I found it to be really helpful and very clear. So be sure to click on that link and check that out as a supplement to what I shared with you today. So hope that helps. We're going to continue that conversation about ROI in all of its different facets next week. As always, if there is a topic that you would like me to cover, or if there's something that you specifically need help with, you know where to find me. Just message me. I'm happy to help. Hope you're having a wonderful week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye, everyone.